Welcome, beautiful yogis. Today's class we will be honoring the moon and the womb space. So, a couple props for you to have. Please bring, if you have some blocks, fantastic. If not, you're welcome to use 2 cushions. And also, if you have a strap, you can use a belt or a rope or even a piece of fabric will do just fine. So, just place that to the side. And we're going to start off on our backs today with our feet facing each other, soul to soul, and our knees spread here. And if this feels any bit uncomfortable, then go ahead and place 2 blocks or 2 cushions supporting under the knees. This helps support the hips here as we will be staying here for a few minutes. So go ahead and take your time to get settled. And once you're lying down on your back, knees and hips are open, place your left hand above your heart space and place your right hand right on your womb space, or if you're a man, you can place that right on your sacral chakra. I'll invite you here to close your eyes and start taking deeper and slower breaths. And really begin to offer your weight to the earth and just sink in, settle in here. See if you can relax your face, your jaw, and that space between the eyebrows. Notice the heartbeat. Notice if it's beating fast or slow. If it's beating fast, see if you can slow it down a bit by slowing your breath down, or maybe massaging the thymus gland, which is right between the breastbone. Allowing the hips to completely open. Noticing as the chest rises with each inhale and the belly sinks with the exhale. Allowing the breath to be gentle here. Now start to bring your attention to your womb or sacral chakra. Notice if you feel any warmth or sensations here. Visualize that this is the space of creation in both literal and spiritual forms. The space where human life is created in a woman. A space where art is inspired. A space of honored pleasure. Now bring your attention to your left hand, placed over your heart, and acknowledge that the heart is a place where we can carry infinite love, as well as pain from the past. So take a moment to send some gratitude there and see if you can connect both sacral and heart. And let's take 3 deep, long breaths. See if you can fill the chest expanding the rib cage, filling your heart space with love and gratitude. Expanding the belly. And on the third breath, release your hands. Remove your blocks or pillows from underneath your knees. We'll stay on our backs here, keeping both knees bent as we straighten that right leg up as best you can. Start opening up the ankles, pointing and flexing the foot. And start to do some circle motions. You can keep the knees slightly bent here. Just waking up the feet. We're bending that knee back and forth as we begin to bring some heat to our leg muscles. Relaxing the rest of the body. And just bending that knee back and forth, maybe going a little bit faster. And start waking up those legs. Placing your right hand on top of your right knee, begin by making some circles, going in one direction, opening up that hip, and reversing directions. And dropping the right foot down to the mat, and let's start on our left foot, extending that left leg up in the air, flexing and pointing the foot, doing some circles with the ankle. Now let's begin by warming up that left leg, bending the knee, kicking it back and forth. See if you start to feel some warmth in those muscles in that left thigh. Keeping the foot flexed to protect the knee here. And place your left hand on top of the left knee. So we begin by making some circles, opening up that left foot. It's okay if the hips rock back and forth on the mat. And finally, place that left foot down and hug your knees into your chest, giving your back a nice little massage here. On the next inhale, lift the head and chest up off the floor. Arms and legs are at a 45-degree angle, engaging the lower core as we start to pulse the legs down and back up. Keeping those legs nice and strong and flexed. If this is too intense for you, you can place your arms back down on the mat. And as we begin some reverse sit-ups, bringing our elbows into our knees, being careful not to crunch the neck here. Keeping our eyes on the ceiling when we come down, if that helps. Just tapping those toes to the floor and release. Go ahead and sit up and come to a tabletop position, starting at neutral, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. So we inhale forward into a nice cow pose, and exhaling, arching that back all the way up into cat. And just flowing at your own pace, following the breath. You can start to move fluidly, or as I like to call, cat-cow freestyle. If you feel any extra tension or tightness in the spine, give that space some extra attention. Really finding your own fluid movement here. Something that serves your body right now. What is your body asking of you? Coming back into a neutral tabletop Extend that right leg behind you, engaging all those muscles in the thigh, and lift that right leg up as high as you can. And then extend the left arm straight out in front of you. If that feels too intense, you can drop the left hand down. And slowly drop that right knee back to the earth as we extend the left leg, nice and strong, keeping the foot flexed here. And slowly, when you're ready, extend that right arm out in front of you. And release the arm and the left leg. Now coming back into neutral tabletop, start to walk the arms out in front of you as we bring our chest and forehead to the mat. Hips directly over the knees as we come into puppy, just strengthening and lengthening that spine out. Taking a few breaths here. On the next inhale, lift the chest and head up off the floor. Curl the toes under. Lift the knees a few inches off the floor and push those hips back behind you, coming into a downward dog and plank. We're going to move from downward dog to plank about 10 times. Keeping those arms nice and strong. Spine is long here. Really moving that blood and fluid in the body. Bringing heat to those muscles. Engaging the lower core. And keep your knees bent here as much as you need to. It's okay if your heels don't touch. Really focus on engaging that lower abdomen. Let's do 2 more down dog to planks and meeting back into downward dog. Inhale and extend that right leg up, bending the knee and bringing it to your elbow. Let's do this 5 times on either side, being sure to really engage your core here. Bringing that knee all the way in. And switching sides when you've completed 5 on each side. Notice how one side may feel more challenging than the other. And that's okay. All right, very good, guys. Once you've completed your 5 on each side, go ahead and drop your knees down and come into the hero pose. You're going to curl your toes underneath your feet and sit back on your heels. Go ahead and adjust the pinky or outer toes to get a deeper and even stretch. Inhale the arms out in front of you, palm to palm. And then turn the palms facing out, wrapping them around and clasping your hands and opening up the chest, exposing the throat chakra. You don't have to keep your head all the way tilted back here. You can just lift your chin up slightly. And this may feel really intense, as many of us are on our feet all day long. This position can be very beneficial to anyone who is sitting for many parts of the day. And coming out when you need to. You can release the arms first, and then the feet. And when you're ready, go ahead and stand up and walk to the back of your mat, facing forward. as we prepare for our moon salutations. Palm to the heart, honoring the moon. Palms facing down to honor the earth. And inhale the arms up above the head as we come into standing half moon, pushing our hips out to the left, extending our body out to the right. Inhaling back up to neutral and pushing those hips out to the right, leaning over to the left. Being careful to keep those hips facing forward, shoulders away from the ears. And step out into a goddess squat pose and extend the arms out. Legs are wide, toes are facing forward. As we come into triangle, face that front toe forward, back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Tilt the hips back behind you as you start to reach forward, keeping that front palm facing up. Left hand comes to your inner thigh, calf, or ankle, while the right hand reaches up towards the sky, looking down to the floor or the ceiling, whatever's more comfortable on your neck here. Taking a nice full breath here and rotating your hips towards the front foot, adjusting your foot if you need to, rounding the spine, coming into a pyramid pose. Using your blocks underneath your hands if you have them. On your next inhale, lift the head up. Bend the front knee as you come into a nice runner's lunge here, really engaging through both legs, energetically pressing through that back heel, knee directly over the ankle. Should be strengthening your legs so much here that you could lift your hands up off the floor if you needed to. Taking full breaths. Now rotate that back foot from the ball of the foot onto the heel as we open up those hips, bringing our hands out in front of us, balancing on those fingertips. Foot is flexed and leaning forward as much as you need to here. Now bending that right leg, walking that right foot in as we come into a nice squat here. Palms to our heart, lengthening the spine. On our next inhale, place the right hand on the earth, left hand reaching up towards the sky, opening that chest up, really widening those hips here, looking up towards your fingertips, and switching sides. Left hand on the earth, right hand reaching up towards the sky. You can always place a cushion or a block under your sternum if that's more comfortable for you here. We're really just trying to open up those hips. And let's release the arms, bringing the hands to the heart space once more. And we're going to mirror what we did on the opposite side. So let's lean on the right leg, extending the left leg. Left foot is flexed. We're leaning forward, balancing on the opposite side. Let's take 2 full breaths here. And slowly we're going to come into our runner's lunge. Right foot is bent, knee over the ankle, extending that left leg nice and strong. Now coming into a pyramid from runner's lunge, we're going to carefully bring that left foot to a 45-degree angle. Front leg is straight, and our spine is rounded here. So as we come into a triangle from pyramid, we're going to inhale that left arm up to the ceiling, placing our right hand on our inner thigh or calf or ankle. Trying not to crunch that inner right side, really giving those ribs some space. On your next inhale, lift up through the left side body, come into a nice standing goddess squat, and then step to the front of your mat, arms above the head, palm to palm, exhaling them to your heart. So we just completed the first moon salutation. We'll do this one a little bit faster. Arms above the head here. Inhale, push those hips out to the left, coming into standing half moon. Coming to neutral, and then pushing out to the opposite side. And step out into another goddess squat. Extend the arms and legs out. Legs are wide here. Right foot is facing forward, left foot at a 45-degree angle. So we come into triangle. Right palm is facing up. Hips are pushing back behind you. Finding your edge here and swinging that left arm up towards the ceiling. You guys are doing really great. And on your next exhale, swing the arms down, coming into pyramid, adjusting your feet if you need to, rounding the spine. And inhaling the head up, gracefully coming into a runner's lunge. Left foot is extended, right leg is bent. Legs are nice and strong here. And let's rotate from that ball of the foot onto the heel, opening up those hips, keeping that spine nice and long. Left foot is flexed. Walking that left foot in, coming into our seated squat once more, palm to palm in front of your heart. Taking a big, deep breath here. And let's open up our arms, placing our left hand to the earth. Right hand reaching up towards the sky, keeping that chest nice and open. And dropping the right arm down, other side. Reach, 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 really lengthening your arms away from each other while opening those hips up even deeper. And bringing your palms back to your heart. Now walking over to the opposite side on that left heel, extending the right leg and walking your hands forward slightly, finding that balance, stretching that inner thigh. And then turning to face the front of your mat, coming into the runner's lunge. Legs are strong, spine is long. Taking deep breaths. And the next inhale, step that back foot forward at a nice 45-degree angle. Hips are facing forward. Hanging that head over the knee as far as you can. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, lift that right hand up to the sky, opening up the chest, coming into a triangle. Trying not to strain the neck here. Fingers are spread. You're reaching up towards the sky. Your side body's not collapsed. You're nice and open here. Stronger triangle than all the others. And inhale, lifting up through the right side body, coming to a nice goddess squat, and stepping to the front of your mat. Bringing your palms to your heart. Palms facing to the earth. Blessing the earth and the moon. And dropping the arms to the side, palms are facing forward, really grounding down into the earth here. Feet are about hip distance apart, toes, heels pressing through the earth. Inhale the arms up above the head, bending the knees and swan dive down. Bending the knees as much as you need here, inhaling halfway up, exhale, release. Let your arms hang here, grabbing the elbows or the back of the calves. Releasing the neck. Bending your knees as much as you need to. And the next inhale, place the palms to the earth, stepping back into plank. Go ahead and drop your knees down as we come into chaturanga. Bending the elbows, keeping them tucked into the rib cage as we bring our nose and then chest forward. Legs are engaged, coming up into upward facing dog or cobra. And releasing, coming back into downward facing dog. Really pressing those hips behind you, lengthening the spine. Chin is tucked. Inhale the right leg up, foot flexed, and press it between the hands, coming up into warrior one, arms above the head, hips are facing forward, legs are strong. And exhale into warrior two, adjusting the feet if you need a wider stance here. And inhaling back into exalted warrior, grabbing the back of the thigh, stretching that front right side body. Releasing the hands to the hips as they face forward, aligning the heels, keeping that back foot at an angle, front leg is straightened. Inhale the arms in front of you, palms together, and then have the palms facing out, grabbing the elbows behind you. Inhale the chest up and head back slightly. Exhale as we start to bend at the hip, leaning forward here. Going nice and slow, just taking our time. Our muscles should be warmed up for the previous pyramids. But just really finding your edge here and taking your time to go a little bit deeper. Should be pressing through those feet, through all the toes and the outer edges, really anchored into the earth. And finally release the arms from your back and drop them to the earth. Or if you have some blocks, place the blocks underneath your hands. This is going to actually help you get a little bit deeper if you have access to these props. So just really dropping the head here, relaxing the jaw, and just sinking deeper here. Focusing on your breath. Inhale, lifting the head up, sliding those blocks forward if you have them. Should be about foot in front. Bending that front leg, extending the left leg as we come into balancing half moon. Taking your time to get here. Back leg is extended, foot is flexed. You can keep your hands on the blocks or earth here. And when you're ready, slowly move your hand to your hip. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can extend that left arm up to the ceiling. Just finding your balance here. It's okay to fall. The key is to really keep both legs strengthened here. And when you're ready, dropping that left foot back to the earth, hanging down in a forward fold here for a moment. Inhaling, rising up nice and slow. Giving yourself a slight back bend and palms to heart center. Beautiful, guys. I know that can be challenging. So let's begin for the other side. Inhale, swan dive down to the earth. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, grabbing the back of the calves or ankles. Look forward, place your palms to the earth, stepping back into plank, dropping your knees down, coming into chaturanga, tilting the hips up, nose and chest to earth as we come in up to cobra or upward dog. Tuck the toes, bend the knees, and start to press back into downward dog, pressing those hips behind you. Really pressing your chest towards your thighs. Inhale the left leg up. Step the feet between the hands. Inhaling up into warrior one. Arms above the head. Sinking deeper. Inhale, lift up. Exhale into warrior two. Arms extended out. Back foot at a 45-degree angle. And don't forget to smile here. Inhale into exalted or peaceful warrior, stretching that left front side body. Release the hands to your hips, facing your hips forward. Back foot's at a nice 45-degree angle. Check your heels for alignment. Inhale the arms in front of you and palms facing out, wrapping them behind you, grabbing your elbows or having your palms together. Inhale, lift the chest and head back. And exhale, start to bend at the hip, reaching forward. Going nice and slow. Keeping that integrity of the neck and spine. You can always pulse here, inhaling up a few inches and exhaling your chest down. And once you've found that edge, you can go ahead and release the arms to the earth and round the spine. Bringing your blocks if you need them. And noticing any differences from this side to the other. And just acknowledging them. Taking 3 more full breaths here before we come into our balancing half moon. And on your next inhale, look up and move the blocks forward, bending that front knee, engaging the back leg, lifting the leg up, balancing with your hands, really opening up the hips here. You can keep your hands on the earth, or when you're ready, placing the right hand on the right hip. And for more challenge, lifting that right arm up to the ceiling, keeping the chest open. Both legs are engaged. Right foot is flexed. Maybe this side is easier or harder than the other. It's okay to fall. And coming out when you're ready, moving the blocks aside. And just hanging in a forward fold. And inhale, bending the knees, coming into a chair pose. And lifting up into a standing back bend. And exhale, drop the palms to the heart space. Find your breath here. Recenter yourself. Acknowledge the work your body's done. And inhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release the upper body. Grabbing the back of the calves. Maybe turning left and right, saying yes or no. Releasing any tension in the neck. Now placing your hands to the earth, coming into plank. Dropping the knees. Pushing the hips back, bringing the nose and then chest to the earth. Elbows are bent, tucked into the ribs. Now walk your hands on their fingertips on the outside of the mat. And press up on your next inhale, coming up into cobra. Engaging, pressing through the legs. Keeping that chest nice and open. Slight bend in the elbows here. Keeping the integrity of the neck and slowly coming down, placing your forehead on the top of your hands, maybe bending the knees and windshield wipering the legs to release the lower spine. And release the legs back down to earth. Engage the legs, pressing through the top of the feet. Let's do this one more time, walking the hands out to the outside of the mat, pressing up from your fingertips. And inhale, pushing up, using your strength in your arms, keeping that neck nice and long. Make sure your shoulders are away from the ears. And release back down to the earth, forehead to your hands. You will need a cushion for this next posture, so just have one at arm's reach if you don't already have one. So bring your chin to your mat, arms out by your side, palms facing down, and start to roll your arms underneath each other with your thumbs facing out and your palms are facing down. You may want to take off any bracelets or hair ties for this as we come into half locust. Inhaling that right leg up, squeezing those glutes, really reaching towards the wall behind you rather than trying to lift it up too high. And release. Let's go ahead and on your next inhale, lift the opposite leg up, really pressing through that ball of the foot, lifting up, keeping both hips evenly on the mat or on your arms, and release when you're ready. You can roll your arms from out under you and place the pillow just below the lower abdomen and hip area. This is going to make a big difference. So rolling your arms back underneath you, palms facing down, thumbs are facing out, chin to the mat, and inhaling those legs up, reaching out behind you, squeezing those glutes, and releasing whenever you need to. As this is an advanced and intense pose. You can place one cheek to the earth and just really letting go for a moment. And let's do this one more time. Rolling the hands back underneath you. Thumbs are facing out, and on your next inhale, lift those legs up behind you, squeezing those glutes, really energetically pressing through the ball of the feet, and dropping them down when you're ready. You can go ahead and remove the cushion. Let's come to a seated position. Extending our legs out in front of you and bending the right knee, bringing that right heel as far as you can on the inner left thigh. I like to place a cushion underneath my hips for extra lower back support. Inhaling, spine nice and long as we start to lean forward, walking our hands, keeping that left foot flexed. As we start to stretch the back of the thighs, the back of the left leg here. Keep that spine nice and long. And finally dropping your head to your knee or as far as you can. Grabbing the calf, ankle, or the back of the foot. And see if you can really slow the breath down here. You can keep a nice micro bend in the knee. But we're just breathing, especially our exhale, keeping our exhale nice and long. With each exhale, we're getting a little bit closer to the knee. Try not to tense any other muscles in your body. making sure both hip bones are rooted to the earth. On your next inhale, lift the head and the chest by lengthening the spine and start to slowly walk your fingers back to your side, sitting up nice and tall. Stepping the right foot outside of the mat, lifting that right arm up, reaching behind you, stretching the front of your body here. Using that left hand to balance you. And slowly coming back down. And let's switch legs here. Bending the right knee into the inner right thigh, extending that right leg, keeping the right foot flexed. You can adjust the pillow here if you need to. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhale, start to forward fold. Keeping the spine long at first. Neck is long. Walking the fingers out, getting closer to the foot. Taking your time. Finding that edge. If you feel your back start to round, that might be your edge right there. And this side is going to be a little different than the other. And again, once you've found that edge, you can go ahead and release the head, dropping it down to the knee or as far as it can reach. Keeping a micro bend in the knee if you need to, and grabbing the calves, ankles, or back of the foot. And your spine is rounded. We're slowing down the breath. Surrendering to the pose. Relaxing the rest of your muscles and your body. On your next inhale, lifting the head first and then the chest. Slowly walking the fingers and hands back to your side. We're going to bring that left leg up, pressing the foot flat on the earth and lifting up, reaching behind you, pressing those hips up to the ceiling, really opening up that front side body. Looking at your fingertips and slowly releasing back down. We're going to bring our backs to the floor. Knees are bent. Rolling to your left side. Arms extended out in front of you. Inhaling that right arm up like a rainbow over to the other side. And placing your left hand on the top of your knee for a deeper assist. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Let's take 3 full breaths here. And let's come to our right side, first by leading with that right leg and gently rolling over to the other side, adjusting the hips. Arms out in front of you, and inhale that left arm up over you like you're making a rainbow, bringing that left shoulder down to the mat. And let's take 3 full breaths on this side. Bringing our legs back to center, really hugging in your knees to your chest, rolling from side to side, maybe giving you a little massage. And if you have your pillows or blocks at hand, I'll invite you to go into Shavasana the same way we started the class, with your feet together, knees bent, hips are open. If not, you can go into a regular Shavasana corpse pose. Just take a moment to get settled. And place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your lower stomach. And just allow the breath to fall naturally, offering your body to the earth. Just completely letting go. We'll be doing a 10-minute Shavasana, but if you feel called to do a longer Shavasana, I definitely encourage you to do so. You can either set a timer on your phone, or you can simply stay where you are, and I will bring you all out after 10 minutes. As we begin to come out of Shavasana, you can remove the blocks and roll onto your favorite side, taking your time, keeping your eyes closed. And if you'd like to continue in Shavasana, please do so. Just want to say thank you so much, you beautiful souls. You have my love and gratitude, and I hope this class serves you well. Namaste, yogis.